Is Wizards of the Coast making Ravenloft the bridge between Eberron and other campaign settings? Let's talk about it. Hey everybody, Jordan here, the PH is silent, and this video we're going to talk about Eberron and its connection to Ravenloft and what that kind of means with connecting Eberron to the rest of our campaign settings. So, diving in over here to my desktop, Lisa Penrose of Twitter, and she works for DM's Guild, and she's a really cool lady doing lots of really cool stuff. She got an early review or early access here to Van Richten's guide to Ravenloft. As of filming this, it is May 2nd, and Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft will come out to the general public on the 18th. But with that, she released the contents. So she took a snapshot of all the contents so we can kind of see what we're getting. And if I zoom in here, we have character creation, all of the various things, the two subclasses that we were getting at, College of Spirits. I don't have any information on that, but we're going to talk about other stuff. And then how to create a domain of dread and what kind of genre of horror you want. And then here are the domains of dread. And we talk about the nature of Ravenloft, the mists, which is going to be important for our discussion. And then here are some domains. We have Barovia with the Dark Lord and Strahd von Zarovich, and then Adventures in Barovia. Bloodspur, which is the God Brain and Adventures here. And I opened up the original domains of dread. So here is the Island of Terror, Bloodspur, and I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. I looked it up, and it's not Bloodspur, it's Bloodspur. And this was a island that was on the core domain, and it broke off. But we have all of these. Like, I can go over here. Here's Borka, and that has a bunch of information. This is a old second edition PDF. Well, the PDF is not. PDF is digital, but you know what I mean. This is an old second edition supplement that has information. I even found they have the Carnival, and there is an old second edition Carnival, and this was a supplement for use in Ravenloft, but I don't think this is technically part of the Ravenloft world. I don't think this is in here, other than this was built for it. But it's kind of, it looks interesting. So I wouldn't mind perusing this, and maybe it needs its own video on the main channel. I'm not sure. So going through all of this, I was like, okay, that's really interesting. We've got all this stuff up here. But then I looked down here on other domains of dread, and this caught my eye. And it says, Cyre 1313, the Mourning Rail. Now, the Mournland is what we call Cyre after its destruction in Eberron. So minimizing this, going back over here, here is Corvair, and the Mournland is right here. Now, this entire land used to be the country of Cyre. And the Mourning Rail, that's an interesting phrase to use, because it was not called the Mournland until after its destruction, but Cyre itself had a lot of lightning rails that went back and forth. So investigating further into this, this is Keith Baker's website here, and he was talking about, and this was May 2nd, 2016? Okay, so this is a while ago. Yeah, May 2nd, 2016. And in it, he talks about, I'll try to highlight the part, in tying Ravenloft to Eberron, the first question is whether you want the demiplane of dread to serve as a bridge between realities. If you want to have Lord Soth ruling a piece of Krynn, or to say that Barovia is a piece of the Forgotten Realms. Otherwise, basically what he's saying in this is, like, you can say that Ravenloft is the way for us to combine all of the different worlds into one, and that the dark powers are pulling from all of these trans-dimensional places. Or if you kind of want to interpret it like Keith Baker interprets it, that Eberron really is the only thing. It is Eberron or nothing. And so we don't want to interconnect all of these different worlds. Eberron really is just its own isolated thing. Wizards of the Coast doesn't particularly like that. So it's in the sense that they want you to be able to plane hop back and forth. Case in point, in the latest book, Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, they included this 7th level spell called Dream of the Blue Veil, that this spell was specifically created to, you fall unconscious and for the spell's duration experience visions of another world on the material plane, such as Oerth, Terrail, Kryn, or Eberron. If the spell reaches its full duration, the visions conclude with each of you encountering and pulling back a mysterious blue curtain. The spell ends with you mentally and physically transported to the world that was in the visions. So if you have a piece of Eberron or a person from Eberron, you can use this spell to reach out and travel to Eberron, which is not necessarily how Keith envisioned Eberron, but he doesn't own Eberron. He just is the guy who inspired it, or created it. But Wizards of the Coast can manipulate it however they want. So coming back over here, could Cyre be tied to Ravenloft? 4 years ago, the nation of Cyre was consumed by the Mourning, a catastrophe that left twisted remnants of the nation surrounded by dead gray mists. As mists are the traditional hallmark of the dark powers, it would be an easy thing to say that the Mourning was nothing less than Cyre being consumed by the demiplane of dread. If you decide to follow this path, a critical question is just how much of Cyre you want to incorporate into the demiplane. Is the entire country there, or did only a small region survive the transition, such as the city of Metrel? So I like this idea a lot, that perhaps the Day of Mourning was actually some scientist or something within Cyre that figured out a way to manipulate the dark powers or use that in some way. And now his punishment is that Cyre has been drawn into the mists, and left in its place is maybe a weird chunk of Ravenloft or something because of that. Who knows? And this is all conjecture. I have no evidence or anything. Except I really think this is cool. We have Cyre 1313, the Mourning Rail. I don't know what this exactly is. It's only a page, so we're not getting a ton of information on it. But man, if I am interested. Then there was this tweet by In My Eberron, which is Keith Baker Presents. This is his publishing company for the DM's Guild. They made Exploring Eberron, which is a really good book. I have a review on it somewhere, and you can check that out. But ever wonder what happened to Cyre on the Day of Mourning? Keith Baker won't say, but maybe the mists hide more secrets than just the Mournland. Dread the mists in Project Pomegranate, and Eberron Ravenloft supplement is coming to the DM's Guild. Now, this is something that Keith is working on. So this is going to be another Keith Baker Presents supplement for the DM's Guild. So I don't think that this is necessarily tied to this Cyre 1313, the Mourning Rail. But it's interesting that they both are kind of working in the same way. So I'm interested what you guys think. Is this going to be the link between worlds? Is this going to establish finally that Eberron is either all by itself or that it is interconnected with other D&D campaign settings? Leave me know in comments below. This is a new channel where I'm going to try out some news and kind of opinions and stuff. So if you want more, please subscribe, and welcome to the Jocular Junction, which is what we're going to do. All kinds of fun here. So, thanks so much, and I will see you guys all